What's going on, everybody? I'm so excited that you're here right now. You're listening to the Moon Man Experience, and I've got the world famous, the Juice Man, Caggy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I think that was too much of an intro right there. I'm not that famous, but yeah, I am definitely a juicer, and I'm happy to be here, man. This is the first time we kind of connect. We have connected a little bit on Twitter and stuff like that. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to also kind of learn a little bit more. I know you're gonna ask me about me, but also learn about you. And that sick ass outfit that you got. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. So thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Your reaction, no problem, man. Your reaction was crazy when you got in here, right? Yeah, we don't really know each other too much, but I guess this is what this is good for, and people get to know you a little bit more. And I feel like you're just everywhere on blockchain gaming. I feel like you're everywhere on Twitter. You're almost like becoming a Gary V in a sense of like, if Caggy isn't talking about it, then I don't really think it's anything. So I think it's a pretty cool pedestal you're on, dude. Now let me ask you this: how'd you get started in crypto? How'd all this get going?
Yeah. 2016, I read an article on Ethereum. My older brother plays poker, so he's always used Bitcoin, but he actually used it as a currency for the intended purpose at the beginning for Bitcoin.
Right.
In the poker world. So I knew about it. I knew about crypto for a long time. But I read this article on the Ethereum Alliance, and I was like, "What? Like, there's a bunch of people in this alliance, and then this network is not owned by a single person. There's a bunch of companies and people owning it." And then I just bought Ethereum on Coinbase, and then that started there. And then ICOs on 2017, 18 made a bunch
Yeah.
of money.
BitConnect.
Yeah, well, I didn't get into Bitcoin,
You didn't
but
get
I
into
did.
it? Oh, dangerous.
Yeah, but I did do a bunch of ICOs,
Yeah.
became almost a millionaire, and then 90% correction. And then everything there, just I understood it. I never quit just because of that. I was just like, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of promises and whatever. That's where I really got started with crypto.
Right. Yeah, I was around the same time, 2017. And then let me ask this question, because it's crazy that you almost became a millionaire back then. Like, I don't know what you do outside of work or outside of crypto, and I don't know what you did before crypto, but I mean, is it crazy? Does it still blow your mind? And maybe you can take us through how that felt coming into something, being so young, finding something new, and then boom, almost becoming a millionaire. Like, how did that make you look at life and crypto in general? Was it just, whoa, this doesn't feel real?
Yeah, it was surreal for a little bit, but I also understood the tech behind it. I'm not like super techy in terms of like I built a rig with my brother mining Ethereum back in 2017. But it was a struggle. We struggled, right? We do research. We built the little rig with a bunch of graphics card. It was like super whatever. Um, but I understood the tech. I understood the power of decentralization. And
Right.
even then, back then, I remember I was still using Facebook, and I tweeted about Facebook and on Facebook. And I said, like, imagine when we can actually decentralize the internet. And today I literally have a box right here that is decentralized internet. So it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
Like I saw it, I understood it. So this is decentralized internet right now, the Helium network, right? It's still not internet,
Yep.
but it's like bits of data that is used for different things in the street. I'm in downtown, so there's a lot of scooters and stuff like that. But the
Yeah.
next generation of this is 5G. So I'm just gonna connect this, and then everybody has 5G. We just create a network, and hey, fuck AT&T, fuck Verizon, and fuck all these companies, literally.
Yeah, I feel
So,
that. Yeah.
and they have 400,000 people. So yeah, it was surreal, but I understood the tech, so I stayed, right?
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
after the crash.
Yeah. The crash was pretty crazy. I know I got into it in 2017. Mid 2017 was around for about a year. Then mid 2018 it started going down. Mind you, I had bought in a lot and I was like, this is the next thing. Then it all crashes down and I'm like, damn, that what was that? Because like I had a couple grand in there, right? And I'm like, yo, this is nuts. But for the next 3, 4 years, I was like, this makes sense, just like you're saying, this technology is going to be the future, so I'm gonna stick with it. I watched everything basically go to zero, but still told people every single day about it. So let's talk about that. You said you got your brother involved, or maybe he got you involved. What other people around you were like hip to crypto and down for the cause?
Yeah, man. I mean, my brother and I, we always been these like doers, kind of like
Yeah.
we jump into things, right? Like let's just create things, or like
Yep.
before that we had created a few companies, right? And we failed. We did a clothing brand, just so you
Okay.
understand some context here. We did a
Yeah,
clothing
let's
brand.
do it.
We did an app. I did an app, like an Uber app, but for cleaning services, and that's
Mm-hmm.
really needed in like places like downtown and stuff like this. People don't clean their houses, right? Like they need somebody to come. So it's like an app where you order your
Where are
cleaning
you at?
lady.
Can I ask that? I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'm in Miami. I'm in
okay, you're
Miami.
in Miami. Okay, cool, cool. I didn't
So
want to
yeah,
put that out to the
we
world if you didn't want to, yeah.
yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I'm already a public figure, so it's like
True.
at this point, it's whatever, dude. Like, whatever comes, right?
Right.
So, basically, I did a few things, failed, and I come from the Dominican Republic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're the way we grow up in our Latin countries, we don't grow up inside the house, right? We grow up outside. Like, I would ride bicycles with my friends till like 10, 11 p.m.,
Yep.
right? I didn't have a
Yep.
curfew. We were doing stupid crap on the streets, right? We would take a street and we would like not let anybody pass by
Yeah.
and make the cars pay us like literally like $1 to pass by. And since we
Yeah.
were kids, they were like, okay, fine, we'll give you $1. We would put like a rope from one side to the other one. So it was always a creative environment. So that kind of translated to the now, right? Like we
Yep.
just kind of jump into things and try to create new things, or jump into new technologies and stuff like that and see what happens, right? So we both at the same time literally were thinking about this, and I called him. I'm like, yo, I bought Ethereum. He's like, yeah, I've been thinking about it too, buying, because he used to live and like in another house,
Mm-hmm.
well, by himself. We're only 1 year apart, but he was somewhere else. I called him. I'm like, yo, I bought Ethereum. Like, you know about this? Like, yeah, man. Like, I've been thinking about it, because he was in the stock market. And
Okay.
then I was like, yo, Ethereum, bro, like, and all this crypto. And then we just got in together, man.
That's awesome. That's a
Uh,
beautiful story.
yeah. And then, like you said, you asked me, I had like a bunch of friends, dude, a bunch of friends that got into it. Some of them got in for the money, and
Yeah.
some of them got in because they understood. Until this day, they're still here. They're still here.
That's dope that you have a little crew to run with, right? Especially you can relate to back to 2016. You can relate because you guys all came up together. And so any wins that you guys get, you all get together. That's always the best, right? Um, that's pretty amazing, man. That's cool that your brother was actually in stocks and was okay with crypto back then, because I feel like stock movers didn't make that change, or majority of them, they didn't come till now, right? They look at this as a very dangerous, volatile game, and they try to stay away from it a lot. I know that's usually the common talk.
Mm-hmm.
But what attracted you to blockchain gaming? Because you're a monster on YouTube with the content and with blockchain gaming. I mean, you're literally at the forefront. You give so much good information. What got you into blockchain
Um,
gaming?
well, yeah, simultaneously as I was working, I used to work at MTV. I went to school for film,
Hmm.
so simultaneously I was streaming as well while I was working at MTV. I was streaming games, and I knew that content was my thing for a long time, right? Like when I was in like film school, I would like record myself doing vlogs and stuff like that. So content was always part of my life.
Hmm.
And in high school, the only classes that didn't fail was photography and videography and art, right? So that
Yep.
was everything else I failed it, right? I literally failed high school. I dropped out. So that translated into like streaming, and I was streaming games, Fortnite very, very early, like literally the first week of Fortnite, I was there, right? Like
Hmm.
I didn't watch like Ninja or Nick Merckx or whatever, all these big streamers, and then I
Yeah.
jumped in. No, I jumped in right away. I knew it was going to be, when I played that game, I knew for a fact that it was going to be a classic. I just felt it. And
Yeah.
that, until today, it translates, right? When I got into Axie, it clicked, for example. And some people it just didn't click, but it's just it's vision, right? It's vision. So that's that. And then the sandbox as well. I got into the sandbox. I was like, bro, this is like Roblox. I mean, and you can
Yeah.
own your stuff and you can have all this stuff.
It's
And
literally
then
copy paste. Yeah.
yeah, and then you got Star Atlas that you're part of.
Yep.
The idea, obviously, Star Atlas is a big vision. But the idea clicked as well, right? It clicked because we seen like Star Citizen, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I basically got in 2020 because
Okay.
I decided I knew about crypto. I knew about what's it called, crypto kitties
Yep.
or
Yep.
whatever. But it wasn't a game, so I was like, So in 2020, I decided like, let me look into this, and I found like 3 games. That's where I really got into.
Yeah. So you say you jumped into Fortnite. Do you think Riot Games is going to get into the NFT space? I feel like there's been talk about it, but I mean, do you think that's I think it's something positive they should do. I think it basically is that already, right? Digital assets. What do you think the future is for Riot Games and Fortnite being into blockchain gaming?
Yeah, it's gonna be a natural, like it's pretty natural actually. Like they're gonna have to transition. I think the biggest thing for them right now, I would say, is the FUD, right?
Right.
Around all of this. The people that don't understand it, the tech is not there yet. I mean, like you can't put 100 million people through a failed transaction. Like that's not, and then like no customer support. Like you get a failed transaction, who you contacting? Like, let's be real.
It's
You're
difficult
not.
to contact these people already. Like, I mean, I'm not like, I love talking on the phone. I'm one of those people, like, if I have an issue, I love talking on the phone. And sometimes email just doesn't do it. Facebook for general. If you have an issue on Facebook, you cannot reach them. It just doesn't happen. So,
Yeah, so as the scalability at the support level, at the transaction technical level, like all of that, it's just too much. So I definitely see that they're gonna come in, but once we have established that we're here, really, like we already established that we're here to stay, but now
clearly.
we have to like establish it for a long period of time. Sustainability, right?
Hmm.
We already said we're here, right? We're here. Now we need to prove that we are gonna be here for a long time, not like a couple months or this whole year. No, like I think 2023 is going to be the year where all these games are going to be like, all the AAA games are going to be like, what the fuck are we doing? We need to get into this right now. And some are already doing it, like Ubisoft, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the
I
day,
think
they're going to,
EA as well. Yeah.
yeah, they're just going to do like kind of like a little centralized system. I feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's centralized, right? For a lot of these games, as long as I can verify the transactions and I can hold them accountable, right? Like if
Yep.
it's centralized and there's a transaction that you can see openly that they deleted the transaction and they added more NFTs or
Hmm.
whatever, like as a community, you're like, fuck this, I'm out. They just cheated us. Boom,
Yep.
and you're out. And that's it. Um, but if it's centralized, it's whatever. Like if they own the blockchain that they're making or running on,
Still
it's
good for the
whatever.
people. I mean, they still earn the kids still get to earn money. The people still get to earn money, and it's still something new. And you feel as if you have that ownership. You're not just spending a bunch of money and getting nothing back from it except for good times, which is cool
As long
too.
as long as we can see the real ledger, not a reflection of that ledger, the
Right.
real ledger. If we can tap into the real ledger, even if it's centralized, we're good. We're good. We can see like transactions went through to this account, and then this account sold it to this one, and then you could verify.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay.
Yeah, we would have to see that, especially like with a console, they're gonna have to make some type of website that you are allowed to go on to see these transactions, right? Because for like console players, you're not gonna probably see any of that unless you make some type of screen that allows you to tab over to a log sheet, and I don't know. There's a lot of things that definitely have to be worked on and given to us, the community, the gamers, before we
Yeah, I
accept it
mean
from these AAA companies.
with a QR code, like
You
you
just
can
have it on your
just
phone.
yeah, you can just scan it and be like, okay, let me see the blockchain. Boom, 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 whatever. You know,
It's actually smart.
yeah, it's not. it's not that hard. The thing is that the tech is not there yet. That's really the truth. It's really not there. It hasn't been proven. When we have 100 million, like Call of Duty has, players making transactions, that's when it's really proven, and for a long period of time, right?
That's
Like
a
it doesn't
lot of
break.
people. That's a
That's a
lot of
lot of
people.
people. That's a lot of
I
people,
don't,
man.
I don't even know if there's blockchains out there right now that are doing things like that. I know like um, Cardano's, trying to do things like that. You've got Ethereum with OpenSea, and they're pretty good at that, but they're even trying to scale larger. I mean, and we know where blockchain gaming could go, and we know the size of it. We always joke about that it's in its infancy stage right now. It's, the parents haven't even met. You know what I mean? The dad hasn't even shot his shot. He hasn't even said something slick yet to get her to the dinner table. So it's super super early. You mentioned MTV, right? So you mentioned you were on TV. I seen a post that you made literally like maybe it's probably been an hour now. You were in police academy, bro. let's
Yeah, yeah.
let's talk about it.
I
Is this
mean,
real?
yeah,
Are you
yeah, I was in the
let's
police
go.
academy. I was in the police academy, and it was just funny because
Yeah,
I always liked I like discipline. Like I'm not like super disciplined. Well, in my craft I am,
right.
but I'm not super disciplined. But the idea of discipline, like I vibe with it, right? I vibe with it. It's something that I look up to, right? When I see
Hmm.
somebody that is super disciplined, that can have their life straight, kind of like do so many things in one day, not only their job, but also go to the gym, eat well, right? Have a balanced relationship, whether it's with a girlfriend or a family. I mean, there's a lot of components in life, and I think discipline it's attractive, right? So I
It
think
is.
I was always attracted to that. I always wanted it. I always wanted discipline, but I also have a bigger side of me that is just a creative mind. That discipline and creative minds do not work very well because creativeness doesn't. You can't discipline creative, right?
Yeah.
It's like I could last right here 2 hours sitting down on the computer, and there's just a moment where it just sparks, and that moment I have to make a video, right?
Yep.
It can't be like, oh, from this time to this time I'm gonna be creative. It almost doesn't work. So, but I like the idea of discipline. So
Yeah, no, you can't box it in. I feel the same. I know when I get like, usually it happens for me. Like I listen to a lot of music. I don't know if that's something that you do, but if I just hear a certain sound or a certain vocal be said, or a certain beat, like something will just put me in that mode. Like you said, like I can't say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna be creative from, 11 to 7, or 7 to 8, whatever. It doesn't happen like that. Like you said, it's just literally at the snap of a finger. When you get it, you get it, and you have to run with it, and take control of it right there. Whether you're writing things down, whether you're recording that video, you have to capture it right there in the moment. Definitely.
yeah, yeah, the creative flow is something that you gotta be open to it at any moment. Like literally, it can't be a box thing, like you said. It just can't be boxed. Yeah,
And
I
have you
agree.
always been creative? Do you say that comes from anywhere, or do you think that was just in your genes? It's just DNA for you.
Well, I would say, look, my dad sells art, right, in real life,
It's very cool.
like real, real art or whatever you want to call
Right,
it.
right, right.
So we had an art gallery. So I always met like artists and stuff like that. Like my whole life, I've been to art studios. And it was just part of my life, the creative process, right? My dad also paints, but he does it for himself.
Hmm.
Um, so I always seen it in my house, the creative things. And then on top of that, when you come from a third world country like Dominican Republic, I mean, it really is a creative world. Like United States, I guess if you're in like in the hood, you're creative.
Hmm.
But if you're not, if you're in the city, everything is done for you, right? Like there's no creative. Like imagine that you grow up in a city, like super, everything is just perfect, right? Like
Right.
this is where you gotta go, this is what you gotta do. Like you got everything perfect. Like there's no creative. Like you can spark the creative nature, but it's harder. Like in Cuba, there's people in Cuba that I've talked to, and they tell me the streets have like this holes, right? Because they don't fix the street. And what they do in Cuba is that they jump into the holes when it rains, and it's like a little pool.
Yeah.
So it's funny as hell if you think about it. And it's
Yeah.
like you're never gonna see that in the United States ever. ever. You're
Yeah.
never gonna see a bunch of kids in the middle of the street, in a nature made pool, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it just. I think third world countries really sparked that, right? Um, so
Yeah, I think hard times and hard situations definitely spark creativity. I mean,
mhm.
I know for instance, in my past, I've gotten pretty creative with food because you only got so much what you got when you're growing up, right? When it comes to clothes, you got to maybe tear something a certain way, or if you wanted the ripped jeans, you got to, you know what I mean? You got
Yeah,
to
I
cut them
did that.
yourself. So
Yeah.
so it's things like that. No, dude, I totally know what you're saying. If you have a little bit of a silver spoon, you know what I mean, you might not be able to turn that into a spork, right? But if
Yeah.
you're from humble beginnings, and maybe you're able to turn that into a spork.
I
um,
remember, dude. I like to add on to that. I remember when I
yeah,
was a kid in my backyard, we had like this big ass tree, right? Like old tree.
yeah,
And we climbed it once. Me and my brother climbed it once. We got some robes, like thick robes. I don't know where we got it. I think we went to go
yeah,
buy it. We told our parents, like, hey, we want to go buy this. And they, okay, sure, whatever. It was
yeah.
summer. And we went, bought the ropes. We got a wooden plank. We got a
Uh-huh.
wooden plank. We made some holes because we had like tools at home, and we got, and we literally made it ourselves. We we did a hole on both sides. We put the
Uh-huh.
ropes on top of the tree because it was an old tree, very stiff,
Yeah,
and we did a swing right in our backyard. So
sick.
like it was pretty sick. Now that I think about it, it was so sick to do that. And then we will also destroy our Christmas, not destroy, we would take it apart. We would take apart our RC remote controller cars. We would take out the battery, we would take out the motor, and
Yeah.
then we would take the Legos, we'd take Legos and we would build boats. And
Yep.
then on the Lego boats, put the motor connected to a battery, and then out of like wood, we would like create a propeller, right? And
Yep.
then we would put it in the shower and just let it ride. We couldn't control it because we didn't know about ships, right? Like to actually make it work. But
Yep.
we would take that apart and just make boats and stuff like that. It was just like so creative, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember we used to obviously put the baseball cards in the bike, right? Yeah, it was like a dirt bike. With like skateboarding, we used to take like cans and pretend those were like the video cameras,
Yeah.
getting sick shots, jumping over grass and stuff. And obviously you would set up like a piece of wood and like a brick, and that would be your
Yeah.
ramp.
That was your rap. I did
Some of
that
them,
too. Yeah.
some of the most dangerous stuff ever. So yeah, that stuff was fun, man. I forget about being a kid sometimes. Those were good times. I miss those times.
Yeah, those things they translate for now, for the today, the things that we're doing today. Definitely, I definitely look back and I always remember those times. I'm like, dude, that's what makes us today. That's really what gets us going. The juice is flowing, right?
The juice is, let's go.
Yeah.
Where'd this juice thing come from? How'd you get to be the juice man?
Well, there is this creator called XQC on Twitch.
I've
He's
heard
one
of
of
him.
he's yeah, he's the
Yeah.
biggest creator, and he always used that phrase juice. But I kind of used it too, but I used it for my coffee, right? Like the fucking juice. I actually did a brand called the fucking juice, a
Let's
coffee
go.
brand. I couldn't finish it. I didn't have the money.
Hmm.
So but I do have it there, and that's
I
an
was gonna
I
say you have the money now, I would assume, and maybe you could bring it back.
yeah, I just want to bring it back with my own coffee, right? Like I need to get a supplier, and then yeah, that is definitely gonna happen. But everything at its time. I think I have learned over time that um, you try to do too many things at the same time, you fail hard,
Yeah.
right? So I'm focused right now on building my YouTube channel, right? Talking about games, finding the best games. It can get tough sometimes because people want content, I want to do content, and sometimes there's just not like good enough content to do. I'm not gonna go ahead and just do a bunch of crappy content, right?
Yeah.
Just because, right? And people are paying me, right? Like I got a bunch of people wanting to pay me, but I don't want to do crap. I want to do the best. If it was for the money, I would do it. Like fuck it, right?
It's
um
actually really cool to hear. that you're
Yeah.
about sticking to your craft and actually staying true to self. That's dope, man. Respect.
No, and I want money. That's for sure. But I want
Yeah.
money from the projects that I like, not money from projects that I don't like. Right. I want that alignment, to be honest. To be like, damn, this project, for example, Star Atlas or whatever. Like, imagine they never paid me, but like, imagine Star Atlas pays me like, yo, Kagi, we got you. Just keep doing content for us, whatever, blah blah blah. I'll do it because I believe in Star Atlas or Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity doesn't pay me. Eluvium kind of paid me last month, this month, because I asked. I was like, the Eluvium founder is so cool. I'm like, yo, like hook me up, whatever. Like, I'll do more videos and stuff like that. I'll focus more on Eluvium. And he's like, yeah, sure, man. Boom, he did it. But not every project is open to doing that, and that's
Right.
But I would like that alignment of projects I like to pay me, right? Because it just feels better, right?
Yeah, let's talk about Eluvium real quick. That is a sick looking game. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that game is gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. What are your takes on it? I mean, it's
Well, let me give you the
gorgeous.
story.
Let's
So
hear
in
it.
early 2021, I found Eluvium, and I was probably the first one that did a video. I think there was somebody else that made a video, but that
Hmm.
person wasn't like, he just made a video. He was like a small YouTuber. I don't even know if he's still around, to be honest. But it was like I it was like a week before I did one, or a couple days, because I looked it up. Just, I take pride in finding games first, right? Just like Star Atlas, like I found it right away. Like I was like, I was engaged. I was looking for games, and I found Star Atlas. Boom,
Right.
made a video.
Boom.
So with Eluvium, that happened. Made a video, I think 2 videos, and then Eluvium came out taking shots at Axie, and Axie was one of my first games that I kind of like, bro, like I nurtured that game. Like I just fed it with content,
Yeah.
help people all the time.
You had to put
And
on the gloves and go, yo, what are we doing here, Eluvium?
yeah, and I told
Yeah.
Eluvium, bro, I told the founder, I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah.
Like you coming into the space, you're brand new here and making a new game and you're taking shots. Like, bro, that's not cool, man. And and then and then over time we got into a little disputes with the Axie community versus the Eluvium community. But then I kind of understood the founder of Eluvium, because what he was seeing is what it was like, a game that, yes, blew up. It has its merits, Axie Infinity. I'm well invested in Axie Infinity, but also a game that doesn't have the best graphics, and also doesn't have the best of the best. It has a great community, but it doesn't have like other things that he was looking for. And maybe the community wasn't that receptive either to to criticism.
Right.
And I was like, after a while, I was like, bro, it's true. Every time I kind of like make a criticism about Axie, I get backlash, I get pushbacks. So I kind of started aligning more with that, with the founder of Eluvium. I was like, damn, like I'm trying to understand. I understand this guy way more now, because I'm like that. Like if I have an opinion, then I say it. Doesn't mean that the way he did it was good, the best way, but he did it regardless. He did it, and he has a little bit of, of respect from me for saying what he thought at the moment. So that's how I started the relationship with Eluvium. And then, yeah, Eluvium is just a great game, bro. Like the idea of like, he's the one that sparked it all. Like, bro, we need to bring AAA games now. It's over. Fuck this, right? We got to do it. So he did it. And the fact that it has an open world, it has team fight tactics type of game, and then it has a mini game also on the phone that they all come together. And you got the mobile game.
Yep.
You farm resources. Those resources, you're gonna use it to craft things, to go on exploration on the open world. And on the open world, you capture the Eluvials, and then those Eluvials, you fight it in the team fight tactics type of game. So it's a circular economy that it just keeps going, right? So if you're a 9 to 5 person that doesn't have time to play, or you don't have a PC, you can still participate in the economy, because the economy of resources is very, very important. You need to feed it to the people that have computers like me. Maybe I don't
Right.
want to be on the phone farming resources, but I'll buy you the resources and use it in the open world to capture Eluvials. And maybe I don't want to play the team fight tactics. So guess what? I'll just capture Eluvials, sell it on the marketplace for the people that like fighting. So it's just perfect. It gives creative, flow to everybody that likes different types of games.
Yeah, yeah. What they're doing over there is really amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's four brothers, right? Three or four brothers.
I think it's like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
like
two
three
or
or four.
three or yeah,
Yeah,
something like
something
that.
like that. But yeah, those dudes are crazy smart, and I think what they're putting together is something real nice. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know for a while I jumped in the Discord and I jump in there from time to time just to see what's going on and talk to the people, and even just the community is really easy to work with. If you have any questions, they answer them. So it's a great place that they're creating over there. Let's talk about no NFT, no play. What is this all about? Because
Yeah.
that's actually something I seen one time. I was like, oh, this is Caggy. This has got to be him right here. You know what I mean? I already knew who you were, but I was like, this is Caggy. I think he just said something or something on Twitter or whatever, wherever it was. But then I found out, I was like, oh no, this is just a person with the same profile picture, no NFT, no play. And then I seen it
Yeah.
again, and I'm like, yo, this is an army. What is this army, and what are they doing? What do they stand for? What are you leading
Yeah.
over there?
Yeah. Basically, no NFT, no play. It was an idea that sparked on my YouTube. I was like, bro, I used to say, bro, if there's not blockchain, I'm not playing. Like, don't don't
I
don't
like
talk to
it.
me. Don't talk to me about other games. And then somebody, and I'll give credit, I just don't know the name, I forgot. He said, yeah, bro, no NFT, no play. You're right. I was like, bro, that's kind of catchy. I mean, it's the same idea, but it was just shorter and it was just straight to the point.
Yeah,
Mine was like, yo, no blockchain, no, I'm not playing. And I used to say that. So he kind of like shortened it. And I was
yeah.
like, bro, that's mine now. I told him, bro, that's mine. I'm gonna use it. And then I just exploited that. I just this is and that it's so simple to understand.
It
Like no
is.
NFT, no play. Like if there's no NFT, we're not playing. And the idea that I always had for my YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
is that I was gonna do content for every single NFT game. At the beginning, I started doing content for every single NFT game. And then quickly I realized that there was a lot of scams. So I had to be a little bit responsible with what I put in my YouTube channel because a lot of people can get wrecked, right?
Yeah.
And then people start blaming on me and whatever. And it already happened like twice already, where one game that I thought, I really thought it was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
People say I was a paid actor. I wasn't a paid actor, right? So I bought like,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you admit when you are, you know what I mean? So I don't, I hope after this interview, nobody takes, believes that and understands that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you announce when you are.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. I
yeah,
don't, I don't mind that. I don't think it's something weird or anything. If you got paid, you got paid. Period. I mean,
yeah,
you're getting paid to promote it's my time, right? When you do a
right.
video, you're like, you're putting energy, time, and thought, and you got to read through things. The important thing is to take the right ones or try to take the right ones. But the point is that I did this thing. I pushed it because I believe that it has something. I made a mistake, but it wasn't a big mistake either. Like people could have, like, it's not like they rugged or anything. It's like I left the game because I talked to the developers a few times and I was like, bro, something about them just doesn't click. At the beginning they clicked, but something
Mm-hmm.
about them over time didn't click. So I started selling my things, dumping my things, but I didn't dump it like, oh, 70 eggs, on OpenSea. It wasn't like that. I started doing it little by little. And that's where people got to take responsibility because what I was hearing from the devs, they should have heard it too. And I can't be the one that tells you, hey, yo, this is not right for me. Sell.
Right, right.
Like, bro, like that's not it. You got to take a responsibility. If there's a few things that are not clicking over time, you start making moves. So you got to learn. This is at the end of the day, everybody for themselves, right? Because there's money involved.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so that's one time that happened. But
Yeah, we got to figure out how to make the community understand that I feel like a lot don't understand. A lot do. A lot do. Credit to everybody that does. But I feel like it's just because it's a new space, but so many don't understand. This is super, super dangerous. Like, you cannot just be out here buying JPEGs. You can't just be investing money you don't have to invest. Like it's I don't know how to get that through to people. We just got to keep on telling them over and over and over again. But like people really out here are losing money, and that it's scary. It's scary. They think it's just you can buy anything and it's going to 100x. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works.
It's not how it works. Yeah, I think the best way to do it is actually find the best projects that you can. Literally, the best projects that you can. In my side of things, I try to my best right now. I have a list of projects that I can probably say right here that I have like, I wouldn't say like, oh my god, like full confidence, but I have good enough confidence in a lot of them. Let me see video. I have a right here. I'll tell you. So for example, I got Axie, of course.
Right.
That, you know, it doesn't matter if the token is going down, the SOP, whatever. Yeah, the economy could be managed better, but you know, we're early. And there's a lot of trial and error in this thing. But the IP is a strong IP. So you got Eluvium, right?
Yeah.
You got Aurora, which is on Solana as well.
Okay.
You got Galaxy Fight Club, which is a MOBA that is actually connecting to a lot of PFPs. They have collaborations with Cyberconk's strong IP.
I'm gonna write that one down. You said Galaxy Fighter.
Galaxy Fight Club.
Okay. Okay.
It's a MOBA, but it's a different MOBA from other MOBAs out there because it's a MOBA that connects to PFPs, right? So your PFP, you connect it and you can use your PFP.
Very cool.
And it's connected to Animetas, which is another NFT PFP project. It's connected to BYO Pills as well. So, you know, they're forging partnerships. Then you got Star Atlas, of course. Then you got Nyan Heroes, which they just announced they brought in like 5 or 6 developers from like Epic Games. It's gonna be a battle royale.
It's powerful.
They brought people from Epic Games, from Ubisoft. So they're setting up to have a good game.
And what is that one called again?
Nyan Heroes on Solana
Nyan
as well.
Heroes. Okay.
Then you got Ember Sword. I don't know if you heard of that one. It's an MMO. They've been here since 2018 building. It's a hybrid game. That game, I call it hybrid because the in-game economy is not tokenized. Only cosmetics are tokenized within that MMO. And then obviously the lands are tokenized, but everything that gets sold on the marketplace, a percentage of everything that gets sold on the marketplace goes to the people that own land. But you cannot buy weapons and be a better player. Like you can only buy and sell.
You can't you can't pay to win, right? Is what they call it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, they call it pay to win, exactly. And then you got Miranda's, which is Gala Games MMORPG as well, building. You got The Walking Dead MMORPG on Gala Games as well. Big IP on Gala Games. You got Cypher, which is another MOBA, but that one is like they're creating their own IP. Compared to Galaxy Fight Club, that one, you know, it's like I said, connects to a lot of PFPs. Very nice MOBA. And then you got Guild of Guardians, which is an action RPG. You go, it's a mobile action RPG. So basically, you go on dungeons and stuff like that with 4 of your friends, and you know you could gather loot and all that good stuff. So you own everything. You got you get there and your character, everything. Then you got the Sandbox, which is similar to Galaxy Fight Club. It's just a metaverse, right? So it connects to all these PFPs. And I think every single game should have a world in the Sandbox. And I would even go as far as Star Atlas having a world in the Sandbox. Just literally the only reason you would have that is not for people to go there and like hang out necessarily, but you have an exhibition, like kind of like you have like an art gallery of Star Atlas spaceships and stuff like that. And people click on it and they go to the Star Atlas website, right? So it's like there's gonna be thousands of players in the Sandbox.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense. You got Snoop Dogg on the Sandbox. You got Atari. You got Adidas. Adidas just bought up Adidas. And then you got BYO Pills, which is another metaverse. Chicken Derby, which is a racing chicken game, which is pretty cool. And they're going to have their little metaverse as well, where you can like walk around with your chickens, have your little home and all that good stuff. You got Pegaxi, which is a horse racing game. Amazing game. You got Guppy Gang, which is, I think it's an MMORPG as well. And then you got CyberCons, which is a PFP that has been connected to many, many, many experiences. So those are like kind of like games PFPs that are like, there's way more, obviously,
Right.
but those I have a little bit of confidence to talk about them, right? So yeah, it takes time to understand all these games, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a lot for sure. I mean, you got to be fully invested in it. I know I keep up with Eluvium, I keep up with Star Atlas, and there was
I
one
think you're good
time.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There, I appreciate you thinking the same. Um, Now there was one time when I found Star Atlas, I went to this one website. I was like, how do I look for other blockchain games? Like, where do I find this at? And I found this website that kind of like almost like it's like a Steam, you know what I mean? And I just went through all of them, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, everything just doesn't. Even though
Sketch.
Even though Star Atlas isn't made yet, even though Eluvium isn't made yet, and really you just have Axie, right? For some reason, like these other games, they just gave me that PS2 quality game, and I was like, off of that, I can't get into them. But I
There's
don't
a
know.
lot of
It
that.
just there's just a lot of games that I don't want to go back in time when I play a new game. You know what I mean? I understand that we're working with new engines, we're working with new mechanics. These people are working with the blockchain, so then you bring in the whole world of transactions. So it's just all new. I get it, but I don't want to play PS2 games. I don't. So I
I
don't know.
I I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. If you don't like that, you don't like that. I mean, I can tell you there's gonna be a world for those type of games because I'll give you an example. I
Yeah.
went to El Salvador just recently, like a couple months ago,
Hmm.
and I downloaded this app like Uber Eats, right? It was another app. It's called differently. But
Right.
I was as I was waiting for my food, there was this mini game, and if you were in the top leaderboard, you get rewarded, right? You get
Hmm.
rewarded in some type of discount or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
But if you take those little games that are play to earn mini games and you put them in like different places where you have waiting times, you still have a market for that. You have a market for even restaurants. You know how when you were kids, they would bring you like the coloring book? That's
Yeah.
waiting time.
Yeah.
That's entertainment while you're waiting for kids, right? For
Right.
adults, obviously, they can have a conversation and they can have a drink. But I think there's going to be a future where you sit down on the restaurant, you're waiting for your food, and basically you're playing a play to earn game there. Like, why
Yeah.
not? Right. So right on the table, you look down and you play it as the food is coming, and there's some rewards, some type of token, some type of like restaurant token.
Yeah.
That
That's
that is
really
a
sick.
that is a global token, right? Where
I never thought of that.
yeah, I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
use cases, right, for mini games like these.
Like
Um,
in the states, I mean, well, you're in Miami, so in the
yeah,
states, like I see this a lot at like you'll see it like Applebee's and Chili's, like these two places. They always have that little like card thing you can pay on, but they have that little area where you can like play a game if you want. I don't know anybody that plays games on there, but I know I've always seen it there right before I go to swipe my card, right? So that's exactly what you're talking about, and I never thought that you could have just a quick little in an in-house restaurant game that could
hmm
easily earn you little restaurant tokens that have value somewhere on some blockchain. That's
yeah,
crazy to me.
and it would be sick
That's
if that
sick.
token is like it's a global token, right? Not a
Right.
global token, but like you got a company like you know how Uber Eats kind of merge all these restaurants together that compete together within the Uber Eats platform or
Correct.
Grubhub. I mean, I'm sure there could be a few blockchains tokens that can merge right all these restaurants together and create this token that is basically universal to all these restaurants. So if I went to eat at Chili's, and I played this little game, I earned some tokens from this, let's call it rest token, the restaurant token,
Yeah.
and then I could go to I don't know to another restaurant and use that token to get a discount or to claim something or
But it's
whatever,
all the
right?
same. It's all that rest token.
It
You know
would
what I mean? Everybody's using that same rest token. Yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense more like that because we already have rewards per restaurant, but it's annoying because at the end of the day, I went and spend in Starbucks, I get the Starbucks points. One, I can't sell it. And two, like, what if I want to go to another restaurant? Like, I don't want to go to Starbucks, right? So you created this economy that works for everybody. And I think it's
Just makes
possible.
sense. It just makes sense. It just
Yeah.
makes sense. So you did a video that was crazy. I never thought of that, yo. That was dope. Um
Yeah.
now what about the SOS token? I know you did a video on it, literally like right when I had been told by right when I was told by my buddies like, yo, you gotta go claim your SOS tokens. Boom, I get a notification that you have a video out about it or talking about it, right? And I was like, let me look into this real quick. So I looked into it. I seen you did it, and I was like, all right, some other people are talking about it. My friends did it. I think this is probably safe. Let me just go ahead and
Hmm.
connect my wallet. What's your thoughts on that, real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that you can,
You
spark
claimed them and
community.
cashed. I know you did that, so you were out of there,
Yeah,
one and done.
yeah, I did it because there's it's at the end of the day, it's opportunity cost. I know a few millionaires there that like they don't need to sell that. They don't have a need. Like they have so much fucking money
Hmm.
that it's like, and I could argue I don't need it, but I'm still in the stage where I'm growing, right? So I took my 10K and I took it somewhere else, and that's it. But in terms of what could be built in that DAO, because it's a DAO, it's like all that money that people are providing, all that liquidity that is being provided.
Hmm.
If the DAO becomes something interesting, I mean, they could create whatever they want. They could create another OpenSea if they wanted, like decentralized. That community really sparked out of the idea that OpenSea was is creating a token, but it's gonna be an IPO like Coinbase. So it's like, bro, fuck you, man. We've been like supporting your platform for so long, and it's like, really, like you're gonna go give it to the Wall Street? Like, are you kidding me? Come on now, you know.
And you're talking
So,
about that's what Coinbase did with their NFT platform that they're
well,
building.
they did it with the company. They went public, right, on the
Yeah,
stock
yeah,
market.
yeah, yeah. Right.
So OpenSea is looking to go public on the stock market.
Yeah, I bought some right when it opened up, and it went from
Oh,
like
it
I think
already
I
is
bought it like no
Coinbase.
the Coinbase. Yeah, yeah. I bought it like 310, 300, something like that, and then it went down. So I was like, well,
Yeah,
that was cool.
yeah.
But no, I'm talking about the NFT. They're coming out with NFTs, right?
Who?
Coinbase, aren't they making a NFT
Oh
platform?
yeah, they have an NFT platform, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like the thing is, it'll probably work, for them because there's a lot of noobs, and that's good for the industry.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, Coinbase, it's another bank. It's a new bank, the new banking system, and it's whatever. It's cool. We need that, right?
All right.
But
It's gonna onboard people, that weren't in crypto. It's a good, easy way for them to get in. But I mean, they're doing nothing but changing from fiat to fiat crypto. You know what I mean? In a sense, maybe is the way to put it. But yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's
uh,
okay. It's okay. For Coinbase, it makes more sense. But OpenSea going public and doing a stock instead of doing,
oh, you were talking about OpenSea went public with the stock.
they want to go public. That's the
Oh,
rumor.
wow.
So that is why this communities like SOS sparked, because
Okay.
the idea behind SOS, like, we're incentivizing the people that have spent a lot of money on OpenSea. Since OpenSea is not doing it,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
Oh, that's the reason why this came around.
Yeah, it's just,
Wow.
yeah, that's just crypto right there for you, 101.
Shout out to SOS for doing that. Okay, I didn't know the backstory. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I heard, right? Like, I don't
okay.
know it for a fact, but that's what I heard from other people. So,
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad that somebody's doing it, you know what I mean? Because that's
mhm.
damn, it's kind of shitty, yo.
Yeah, yeah, it's
um,
crazy. Like, why would you go stock market? Like,
yeah.
bro, like your whole audience is in crypto. Why are you taking the money to the stock, you motherfuckers?
I don't know. It's not a cool move.
Yeah.
This is my first
So,
time hearing about it. I got a reaction later for it. I don't know. Fuck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's so crazy, dude. I don't know why they would do that. I don't
Yeah,
know,
it's just
man.
weird.
I
It's
think that's
weird.
just about people selling out, maybe that's just what it is, man. They're just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why weird people do. I don't know why.
People do
Oh,
that. People
stay
do that.
crypto, man. You know what I mean? Stay decentralized, man. That's why I'm always saying, welcome to the decentralized future. And if our big players in crypto are going to continue to give themselves over to the powers that already be, then what are we doing here? You know, what are we doing here?
I mean,
Um,
here's how I see it. I'm a tell you the truth. Here's how I
yeah,
see
lay it
it.
on us.
Look, the genie is out of the bottle, right? The idea is out of the bottle. Any company that goes like mainstream and they mingle with traditional centralized company, they're gonna have an audience. They're gonna have an audience. But remember that the genie is out of the bottle. The idea is out of the bottle. So that means that when those companies go centralized and then people that are participating in that centralized economy, where they're trying to micromanage everything, they're asking you for ID to transact, they're asking you for all this stuff. People are gonna be like, at some point, they're gonna be like, yo, somebody created a decentralized platform that has a fucking great game. Let's go over there, right?
Right.
And if that one doesn't work, another person is going to create another one. It's just not going to stop. And it's the same thing with decentralized exchanges. If like the SEC starts coming after these decentralized exchanges, bro, another one is going to be created, and another one, and another one. It's like a virus. You can't stop it, right? The code is out there. People can just replicate the code without putting their name on the platform. Because at this point, a lot of these platforms, we know who kind of created them,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
people are
that's
gonna
like
learn from that.
that's what Bitcoin maximalists, are always talking about. You know, exactly that. It's Bitcoin's already out. You can't stop it. There's no stopping it. You know, and everything that comes after it is great, but Bitcoin's the holy grail, and it's the one that's changing our future, and that's just that. You know what I mean? That same stance of
I
you can't
agree.
stop what's already happening, right?
I agree with like so many ETH maxis and whatever maxis. Like Bitcoin maxis, they take it a little bit far too. But I mean, I align with the Bitcoin idea because, bro, who are you coming after? Like we still, although Ethereum is decentralized or whatever the hell, like we still have a leader, and it's Vitalik.
Yeah.
Like Vitalik says tomorrow that he's leaving ETH and that he doesn't want to work on it anymore. He doesn't want to like contribute to it in any shape or form. ETH goes to shit. Like I think
You think so?
for a little bit at least.
It's gonna take a hit. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
take
take
a
a
hit.
hit. It's gonna take a
I don't
hit.
even know the other people that are on Ethereum. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I
I
just
think there's
know
like a
Vitalik.
foundation.
Yeah, yeah,
People
obviously.
contribute. People just
Yeah,
contribute to the code, and the
okay,
foundation kind of like, I think, has people working on it, and
right.
I think it's something like that. But I'm not like well versed in that either.
Hmm.
It's just too much information to know too much.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I
information.
know I know enough about games
What do you
already.
think
So
about Immutable X and their relationship with Eluvium? Because I know that that's something that they're trying to link together.
yeah, Eluvium is gonna be on Immutable. Not only Eluvium, Ember Sword as well, and
Hmm.
Guild of Guardians. Those three. Those are three premium games right now that are going to Immutable X, and Immutable X has done something good. I used it. It works perfect. Withdrawing from it obviously is gonna cost you a little bit of gas, but at the end of the day, I'm sure there's a point where you can like go from Immutable into like centralized exchanges, and you don't have to go through the bridge. Um, so it's
Right.
whatever. It's perfect. Immutable works great.
Hell yeah.
So
So let me to round this off and ask this last question. Seeing that you're a gamer, you're in the blockchain space, it only makes sense. Ready Player One future. How soon is it? When is it coming? And are you super excited for it? And do you have any thing that you fantasize about, at nighttime when you think about that future?
um, to be honest, I'm in between still, right? Like I want a future where we still have like that personal engagement. It's kind of scary,
Hmm.
to not to not like be able to hang out with people in person. I don't think it's ever gonna be the same. Um, I will adapt for sure, whatever it is, right? But I'm in between because obviously I grew up with tech, but I was I grew up also like writing on notebooks, right? And doing calligraphy, right? In school.
Right.
So I'm in between. I saw both computer and like notebooks. And so for me, it's like I'm in between. But how soon is gonna happen? I would say, like I said it in a talk the other day in New York, and I said 15 years. I don't think it's gonna be that quick, to be honest. Just because, there's infrastructure that has to be built, um, and then everything else has to align with it.
Right.
Just the fact that we still use like cars and drive them, like everything has to come together. That's the thing. It's not only what we're doing here. It's the fact that everything has to be automized. When you go to a restaurant too, like you're not you're not being served by somebody actually serving you. Is a robot that comes to your table, brings
Hmm.
you the food, right? Like all of this has to come together. There's so many moving pieces,
Yeah.
and this is
Yep.
just one of them. You got the AI, you got also integrating tech into our bodies as well, because right now we have an extension, which is the phone. This is the extension to our body, but we don't have it connected to our brains or to our veins, right? Or to
Right.
our like thought process. There's still a lag time between you having the thought and writing it down. So like all of that has to come together. So many techs have to be built, and that's why I say 15, even 20 years.
I
There's
mean,
so
Elon
many
Musk is
moving.
trying to do that with Neuralink, and I mean, I think he's literally just on the testing phase with animals right now. I mean, there's so much that has to come into play, like you're
Hmm.
saying. It's gonna be a while before something like that happens. Very
So
cool.
yeah, all of this has to like merge.
It's almost
um
like a singularity event.
yeah, it really is, it really is. And you just look at any industry. um just look at it. I mean, even construction right now, like construction right now, it's like, okay, you're gonna do a building. You got an architecture, you got an engineer. They go on the computer, they create the model, um, and then they put it to work. Then you got people working on it. I mean, the day that you can think and do at the same time, you kind of just buy the land through your glasses or through your brain. You're like,
Right.
okay, that land is for sale. Boom, I bought it. I think of the design. An AI tells me if that design is like, or it gives me options of different designs that people have uploaded. I
Yep.
buy the design, I place it, and then I get a service, some type of service that basically builds the whole building by itself, almost like 3D prints, the
Right.
3D prints. And there's people already working on that. There's a video on YouTube, a few videos on YouTube
Hmm.
of houses being built in like hours, right, by a machine. So just think about that. And just in the engineering side of things, like, okay,
Yeah.
I bought the thing through my thing. I got the design right there. I chose the design, I placed it, I see how it looks, I like it, and I basically did the whole process, bought the service of the machinery. The machinery gets there, and then it just builds, and in the next month it's already built, like some shit like that,
Yeah.
that
It's a
everything
wicked.
has to integrate.
Yeah. It's wicked technology right there. It's some demon shit. I mean, it's crazy, you know what I mean, for that to happen. Yeah, I mean, something wild like that. I think we're definitely like 40 years away from that, because that's like
But it's gonna
this.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's seamless technology. That's just that's scary stuff right there, man. It's like you just walk outside of your house and you feel like getting on top of your roof. You literally just think of the steps. Like when you take that first step, the step appears, and then the other one disappears. That next one, you know what I mean? Like that's
Hmm.
crazy shit like that.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
hell yeah, man. Well, dude, I really appreciate you taking this interview and getting to know you a little bit better. And I'm sure the people will really enjoy this. Um, you're truly a great brain in this space, and I'm glad to have spoke with you at such an early stage in all of this. Thank you, man.
Perfect, man. No, thank you for having me. And these conversations are good, to talk about a little bit about everything. It kind of like, works your brain a little bit. I'm not like the smartest brain either. Like I just kind of have ideas and that's it. I kind of like just
Yeah.
throw them out there like a maniac. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, man. And Yeah, man.
And
Much
for the
love.
people, yeah, one love for sure. For the people that don't know who you are, how to find you, please shill all your socials and let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, on YouTube. YouTube is Cagyjan, Cagyjan. It should be on the screen, maybe Cagyjan. And then on Twitter, also Cagyjan, and then a number one at the end. So Cagyjan1, and that's it. That's pretty much the two socials I have. I don't try to expand too much. I do have Discord, but you can find those links on my YouTube, and even the Twitter one is always going to be on the description. So um I try to stay like I don't go too broad because it's better to focus on the social medias that work rather than try to expand on social medias that are not crypto native like Instagram.
Right.
That's trash. I mean, some projects work there, but
Yeah.
Twitter
Yeah.
is where it's at. Yeah.
Totally, totally. Well, hey, everybody, really appreciate you listening to this. Caggy, I really appreciate this time with you. Everybody, please go follow him. Go see what he's up to every single day. Puts out a lot of content. If you're into blockchain gaming, he's definitely the dude to watch and to listen to and get some good info from. So thank you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. This is the Moon Man Experience.